Yes, indeed. B Marsh Boxing back at it with another boxing video. So, as you can see in the title, the WBA, Gilberto Mendoza, I'm sure under the, what's the word I want to use? Not influence, but probably got underpaid under the table by the one Eddie Hearn. Well, the WBA, they cock blocking this fight we got between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. So apparently Anthony Joshua might have to wait for Deontay Wilder fight after the WBA has ordered him to sign for a mandatory defense against Alexander Pedvetkin within 24 hours. So apparently WBA President Gilberto Mendoza had given the man Anthony Joshua an extra month to continue talking with the man Deontay Wilder, negotiating for a deal to be signed. Um, but he, but the but now he's calling for AJ to finalize a bout with the mandatory challenger, the man Alexander Povetkin. So Alexander Povetkin's a mandatory for that WBA belt. And Gilberto Mendoza and the WBA, they're trying to push for that fight. Apparently, they'd rather see that fight happen rather than the biggest fight probably in boxing right now for undisputed for all world titles, Wilder versus Joshua. So I'm gonna read you some quotes from Gilberto Mendoza. He said, "Today the WBA requested an answer from Anthony Joshua's team regarding his fight with the mandatory challenger Alexander Povetkin. The WBA have allowed over a month extensions to negotiations with Povetkin and also ongoing discussions with Deontay Wilder. It appears the Wilder team have not returned the contract for the fight, and therefore we are requesting a date for the Joshua versus Povetkin fight with immediate effect." Okay, so that's end quote. Those are words from the man Gilberto Mendoza. You know what I'm saying? So now they're giving this guy Anthony Joshua 24 hours to sign the deal for this fight. And the last news I heard about this particular negotiations was Deontay Wilder and Shirley Finkel and their team. They about to send over the contracts by Friday. There's just a few minor stipulations, few adjustments that they had to make on the contract before they could officially sign it. You know what I'm saying? But Deontay Wilder is ready and willing to go out there. Anthony Joshua is ready and willing to take a pay cut from 50 million just to have the fight in his backyard. No qualms in that. Hey, it's your money. I ain't cutting your money. He probably got millions of dollars. He can sacrifice. I don't know what he might lose. Last I checked, they said about $13 million less than what it would have been to fight in the United States. Hey, to each his own, man. You know what I'm saying? I guess you know, home ring advantage is for real. You know what I'm saying? It's a real thing. Anthony Joshua would like to be in a comfort zone, fighting in front of his fans. As Eddie Hearn says, hey, we've worked all our career for this. He deserves it. That's well and fine. You're the A side. You could call them shots. You could fight in your backyard and leave 13 million on the table. You know, and in my opinion, I just see that Eddie Hearn is the one who coerced the WBA because Shirley Finkel and them, they sent out the news yesterday that they about to send over that contract by Friday, and Deontay Wilder, and then they about to send it over by Friday. And that was yesterday. But today, as I wake up, I see the news saying that these fellas, they trying to force the WBA to mandate that fight. You know what I'm saying? And, Alexander Povetkin, hey, I don't know how the fuck you get a fight title shot from beating David Price. What the fuck had David Price done? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about, man. You thought the IBF had some whack mandatories, man. What about this Povetkin shit? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Povetkin's a bum by no means. He's not a bum. He's definitely a habitual and a predicate when it comes to steroid abuse. You know what I'm saying? But the man is a dangerous opponent. You know what I'm saying? I believe AJ will spark him out. You know what I mean? No question about it. I mean, David Price almost got him up out of there in one of them rounds. You know what I mean? Knocked him the fuck back with a left hook. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I believe Eddie Hearn has coerced. That was the word I was probably looking for. Coerced the WBA and Gilberto Mendoza to force this fight with Anthony Joshua. I'm sorry with Pedvetkin. From what it looks like, Anthony, what's his name? Eddie Hearn and them, they want Deontay Wilder to sign the fight, even though they're gonna sign and fight the mandatory Alexander Povetkin. You know what I mean? And that's why I made this DuckTales video I made about a week ago. You check it. I was fed up with this shit. I laid back in the cut. I've been peeping the news. You know what I'm saying? I was staying patient. I said, look, man, if I gotta call anybody a ducker, I will when the opportunity is right and prime. And hey, man, last week Eddie Hearn and then they pissed me off with what the fuck Eddie Hearn was saying, talking about, oh, we need more than 12 weeks. We need about 12, more than 8 weeks. We need 12 weeks to get ready for Wilder. But before that, a month before that, Anthony Joshua was apparently talking about he's in training for Wilder. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck got me. You know what I mean? Anthony Deontay Wilder and them. There's no inclination. That's what the fuck these nut ass AJ fans do not understanding. You know what I mean? And I don't care what nobody says. That's my word, and I'm gonna stick by it. These Anthony Joshua fans, they're the type of fans who can make you turn and not even like the fighter anymore, because these fans, in my opinion, from my experiences, what I've gone through here on YouTube, because I don't really talk about this fight with people on the streets or casuals outside, because they don't really know the ramifications or really the in and outs of what's going on. I'm not gonna say I do too. You know what I'm saying? None of us are in the negotiation room. You know what I mean? We're not at the meeting at the negotiation board. None of us are. But we just getting the news from where we get it from these various publications and websites. But from my experience, man, these Anthony Joshua fans, they just so fucking deluded, you know what I mean? They would rather they can't even concede and say that the man Anthony Joshua is the one who's delaying this fight, because and Deontay Wilder and them, they had sent over negotiate a $50 million offer. You know what I mean? So these guys are the ones taking initiative. You don't hear a peep out of the man Anthony Joshua, because he has his spokesman, the man Eddie Hearn, who's gonna take the brunt of the blame, and he's the one who's gonna be like basically the bodyguard, the protector of Anthony Joshua, and he's gonna take bullets when people are trying to fire shots at the man Anthony Joshua. Okay, now Deontay Wilder has been vocal about it. People may say he's lying. People, I even looked at the comment section of that video, that 1 hour video he had with Michelle Joy Phelps. Wow, man, like the more rational fans in that comment section for that hour video are the Deontay Wilder fans. The Anthony Joshua fans, they the ones who say this guy's a fucking bum. Skinny legs, windmill Wilder. He's easy work, just like Anthony Joshua said. He's easy work. 3 rounds, he's gonna get knocked out. Then why the fuck are they delaying this fight, man? Why don't you fight this guy? If Deontay Wilder was more easy work, then the man, they said Joseph Parker's a more difficult fight. And I don't care what nobody says. These two guys fought in March. Wilder and AJ. Deontay Wilder went through the gauntlet fucking with the man Luis Ortiz. After he beats Ortiz, all of a sudden, he's not the boogeyman anymore. Now, all of a sudden, Luis Ortiz is old. He ain't the boogeyman. He wasn't that good. You see, these fucking boxing fans, man, that's why I don't fuck with boxing fans, dogs. Who, I'm not even going to say boxing fanboys, you know what I mean? I fucks with real boxing fans who are about the fights more than these fighters, you know what I mean? All I know is Deontay Wilder's been taking initiative. He's been vocal about it. He's been trying to push for the fight. All they gotta do is Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and them is call his bluff and say fuck it. Here's the contract. Let's fight. Deontay Wilder and them about to send over that contract. You know what I mean? You check it, and now the WBA is trying to say they have only 24 hours for negotiations for Anthony Joshua to sign a fight with Pedvetkin. How comes that news is coming so abruptly, so soon? When just yesterday, Deontay Wilder and Shelly Finkel and them said they about to send over the contract by Friday. There was just some minor adjustments that they had to make in the contract and stipulations. You see, I got Eddie Hearns. This got Eddie Hearns, John Hancock written all over it. This catastrophe right now, and you know, Anthony Joshua's not gonna he's not gonna drop the WBA belt. He's not gonna drop the WBA belt and say fuck that fight with Pedvetkin. I want to fight Wilder for the $50 million. No, no, no. He's gonna do that Triple G shit, fighting mandatories, guys that he's probably gonna beat, but not face the dangerous opponents. Man, it's plain and simple, clear cut, and I can see it with Stevie Wonder's glasses on. B Marsh Boxley, your thoughts and comments, and I'm out of here. One.